Why does he need to aspire for more? Why does he need to be better than where he's at right now?
Yeah.
I'm afraid that if we get married, I will be the one supporting him financially.
What does that mean then?
He's luxurious.
Okay, all right. That's what I was thinking, but yeah, you may want to ask your wife or your future wife if that's what her feelings on it.
Hello everyone, my name is Kay Hartman and with me is my husband Steve.
Hi, thanks for joining us.
Welcome to our channel Clear Echoes. This channel is dedicated to offer free advice to those facing life's challenges and find solutions to situations that may feel overwhelming or hard for them to navigate. I'm a certified clinical hypnotherapist and life coach. People come to me when they feel they needed help and support in solving their tough problems, or when they feel stuck and unsure of how to move forward. And with their consent, we are sharing their stories here in our channel to help others who may be in a similar situation. And my partner here brings his 59 years of invaluable hands-on life experience to the table. And together we offer thoughtful and practical solutions to your life's problems. And today we are going to talk about Tiffany. She writes, "Hi Kay, I'm Tiffany. I recently got engaged. Yay, congratulations. But I'm not quite sure if my fiance can support a family. We were classmates in high school where he graduated magna cum laude, but he never went to college. He leads a very laid-back lifestyle, works as a store manager at a convenience store, and plays basketball on his off days. I'm afraid that if we get married, I will be the one supporting him financially. I'm a nurse practitioner and earns a decent salary, but I don't want to be the lead provider when we start a family. How can I tell him to find a better job or go back to school and earn a trade or a degree without making him feel belittled? He is a very loving, caring, and smart person. He is very funny, which helps a lot coming home from a very stressful job. He has a lot of potential and he is very much capable of so much more, but he lacks the motivation. How can I make him aspire for a better future?" You want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I've never known of anyone who graduated cum laude who didn't go to college. Most of the time, the people that I know who graduated with honors in high school, they strive to be in that level academically because they're trying to get into a good college, like
Right.
an Ivy League college,
Mhm.
or get scholarships
Right.
so that they can afford higher education. The only reason that I can think of why he wouldn't go to college would be finances.
Right.
That's the only reason that I can think of.
Well, yeah, I don't know if maybe he set a goal before of what his career would be, and he just doesn't know how to go about making that happen. Maybe he's embarrassed to share that with you. Maybe after high school he thought, okay, I worked hard all the way through high school. Now maybe I got a chance to relax. But that period is pretty much ending once you're planning to get married.
If you talk to him and he tells you that the reason why he didn't go to college is because he doesn't want to go into debt, are you willing to help him financially? That's one of the things that she needs to take into consideration.
Yeah, the other option is, depending on what his career goals are, if he has any, maybe that's a discussion on its own, is what do you want to do for our future that would make you feel like it fulfills you? To give you, just be very reinforcing, and it's a journey together, and you're not trying to make him feel guilty or anything, just try to motivate him. And maybe you could look into motivational practices and just find out what's going through his head, because it could be something totally unrelated. It could be he's got depression or something, or anxiety about starting a career. But if you can figure out what he wants to be, for lack of a better term, when he grows up, find a way, find a path to make that a reality. And if it's something that he can take educational courses online, that's often cheaper. Even YouTube has a lot of free courses for things. There's a program called Udemy.
Yeah, but I don't know if you learn something on YouTube that you can actually get hired.
Yeah, but the thing is I'm not saying for long term, but just to see if that's what he's interested in. And he can do that part-time while he's working the job he has now. But just find something that he can get serious about. And then you may have to be ready to make some financial adjustments to make that come true. And remember, you're building a future. And also, maybe just his managerial skills can be used for another career or in a different place. Have him look into that, because he sounds like if he's a terrific guy and he's got a good personality, that's one of the most important things you can have to get a job. Just come through as charismatic and be a problem solver, because the experience of the job will eventually educate you on its own.
Based on her email, it seems like they're already living together, and I would assume that at this point your finances are separate, that they don't have a joint account yet, and I advise you to keep it that way for the time being. And in one of your off days, you should probably sit down and talk about your future as a couple, because one of the things that I'm also thinking about is that your expectations of your relationship may not be aligned. I'm not sure if you've talked about kids, because if he proposed to you with his current financial situation, he's probably thinking that nothing's going to change.
Yeah, he's probably thinking, well, I'm getting by now, so this is fine.
What I'm trying to say is that I'm not even sure if he is planning on having children.
Right.
Maybe you are thinking that, oh, we're going to get married, we're going to start a family, but that's not what he's thinking about. He's thinking that we're going to get married and we're going to make this relationship official, but not necessarily have children.
Yeah. Yeah, going on what you just said, because I didn't even think of that until you started mentioning it. His idea of what's the future of your relationship and yours could be entirely different. And for some reason, men that, I don't know if he's a bachelor for a while. Did it say how long they were in a relationship?
She didn't say.
Oh, okay. But they kind of like the idea of, their own independence. And I don't know, maybe he's worried that if he starts making plans, that he's kind of locking himself into something that he can't get out of later.
Well, if I'm going to borrow the philosophy of Simon Sinek, who is a motivational speaker, if he lacks motivation, if it's maybe because he doesn't have a strong enough why.
Yeah.
Why does he need to aspire for more? Why does he need to be better than where he's at right now?
Yeah.
If you can try and make him think for himself, or give him an idea of a why.
Yeah.
Give him an idea of a why he needs to aspire for more than where he is at right now.
Yeah.
Because it seems like if he graduated magna cum laude in high school and he's not aspiring to be in an Ivy League school or earn scholarship, that means that he is inherently smart. That means
Yeah.
that he's smart without even trying,
Yeah.
right?
And college can be exciting too. And if he hasn't experienced college, it's a whole different thing. But you get to meet new people. You'll probably make some new friends. You'll make contacts for your career later on and for hobbies and stuff. You can meet a lot of people. It's actually a environment that's different enough that he may enjoy it. That's you
And,
got.
and
Oh.
it doesn't necessarily even need to be like a bachelor's degree or anything.
Right, he could go
I
to a
really-
trade school.
The only thing that I just keep going back to the reason why he wouldn't go to college is because he doesn't want to go into debt. I know what question you can ask him. If you have the means to go to college, if you have the means to go to any college and do whatever trade or whatever course you can afford, what would it be? And why?
Yeah. Yeah.
And why?
Yeah.
You can even, use yourself as an example. Say, if I hadn't got into what I'm doing now, I would have liked to have gotten into, whatever that might be. And I'm sure that, as you were growing up and entering adulthood, that you had a lot of thoughts about what you could be.
Yeah. So it's out of curiosity. It's not out of, I'm pressuring
Yeah.
you to do something
Right.
else, or I'm
Yeah.
pressuring you to move since we're going to get married. Because I really don't think it's either he doesn't want to go into debt, or he's thinking that nothing's going to change even if we get married. We're just making this relationship official where we're going to get married, but he probably isn't thinking about having children, or if he is, it's not in the very near future. So they need to make sure that their relationship agenda are aligned.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
and
living
that's
together.
really a common thing in a man's mindset. When they get married, they think, it's just going to be the same, except for you're going to have my last name or a ring on your finger or whatever the thing. But they don't think of it as and they don't want to be an instant change.
Yes.
Because change is something that freaks people out.
Yeah, it's very scary for a lot of people, especially for men getting into going into marriage. But you need to figure this and iron this out before the wedding,
Yeah.
because this thing is not going to get sorted out
Yeah.
after the marriage. It may complicate it even more.
Right.
So far, it seems to me like they've figured out who answers, who pays for what.
Yeah.
Because that's not part of her
Yeah.
email. That she just wants for her fiance to aspire for more because they're building a family.
You really have to, once you're married, it changes. You're not just relying on yourself,
Yes.
and you're not just responsible for yourself.
Yeah, they need to sit down.
It sounds like you really care for him, so you just kind of want to move gently and not too fast, where he feels forced on anything. But hopefully, as you talk over time, he'll get more comfortable with the idea, and you can come to some sort of a plan or course to take.
Yeah.
So to summarize this advice, number one, you need to sit down with your fiance and ask him. If you haven't asked him, if you don't know the reason why he hasn't gone to college, I need you to sit down and ask him that question. Ask him a hypothetical question. If you can go to college, if you're not going to go into debt, or if you can afford anything, what would it be?
Yeah. Or if you could
What's
change
your-
careers.
Or if you can change careers, what would it be?
Yeah.
Second, if your fiance's reason for not going to college is because of finances and he didn't want to go into debt, would you consider to help pay for his tuition? Or try to ask him if he would consider attending a community college or a trade school instead, so the tuition fees are more manageable. And I guess number three is that if your finances are separate at this time, keep it separate until you are comfortable enough to have a joint, even after the marriage, even after the wedding, keep it separate. If he decides not to change his career or stay where he's at, keep it separate, but you need to get this sorted out before your wedding.
Right.
All right. Well, Tiffany, best of luck to you.
Yeah, best of luck.
I wish you all the best. Congratulations again on your
Yeah.
engagement, and I wish you all the
Yeah,
best.
you sound like you're going to be a good couple if you can get things coordinated.
Yes, it sounds like they're very compatible.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, they just need to, get this financial thing figured out.
Yeah.
All right. Our next email came from the Philippines, and it says, "My name is Joel. I'm marrying the love of my life." Everybody's getting married. Everybody's getting married.
Well, congratulations.
Congratulations, Joel. Yes. "My name is Joel. I'm marrying the love of my life in June of next year. She came from a well-off family, and we both wanted to have an intimate but refined wedding. We've been talking to my fiance's parents about our plans. We have their blessings to get married, but it seems like they are not interested in chipping in for the events. I have enough savings to pay for our starter house, but I do not have enough to finance both our weddings and our future home. How can I ask my future in-laws to help with our wedding expenses?" Intimate but refined. That is actually a pretty good thing to say.
Yeah.
Refined.
What does that mean then?
It means luxurious.
Okay, all right. That's what I was thinking, but
Intimate but refined wedding.
it means expensive. Well, possibly.
Yes, it
Possibly.
means
There may be a workaround.
Intimate but refined. It means expensive, correct. What is the customs here in the U.S.? Because I know in the Philippines, when you get married, it's all the man is the one who spends for everything.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of
That's what I know. That's what I
Yeah.
know. But we didn't get married in the Philippines, so I don't know. I can only base it from my recollection of when my aunt got married.
Yeah.
I understand that it was the husband to be who spent for the wedding. He has the house already.
Yeah.
If I remember it correctly, I believe that my grandmother had to pay a dowry. That's when I first heard of a dowry. And that's
Yeah.
why I can remember. That's why it's a core memory for me.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even know that existed. Is that something that is...
That was something that I don't think of that now it's really a thing, but in the history of a lot of the cultures that have, adapted to life in America, especially the Europeans, that was a thing. But usually...
But nowadays people just elope.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any more dowries. It's still being
Yeah.
practiced right now.
And
the world's changed, but
Is that a thing of the past
the
now?
thing in America, I believe, is usually the bride's parents would pay for the wedding. And
The bride's parents would, here in the U.S.
yeah, in the U.S.
Oh.
But I could be wrong on that. But I think that's usually the thing. But it's not unusual for the married couple to have to, float some of the expense too. So
Yeah, I don't think that's going to fly in the Philippines if the bride's parents, I don't think that any of the parents will.
well,
marry
it
their
really depends
daughter.
how desperate they are to get rid of her. And that can work both ways.
I don't think that would be a thing in the Philippines. I don't think that
Yeah.
they would marry their daughter if they will have to shoulder any of the expenses in the wedding.
Yeah.
Normally, I think right now, the way that it is with, finances and everything, I believe that the couple, if they plan on getting married, they will have to save enough money between them to pay for the event.
Right.
They will not ask either of the parents to chip in and pay for, at least they wouldn't expect for the in-laws, either party,
Yeah.
to chip in. But of
Yeah.
course, I guess he is expecting it because, like he said, the wife is coming from a well-off family.
Yeah.
So he probably was expecting that they would have the initiative to pay for the reception or whatever
Yeah.
expense that
Right.
the wedding will.
And in the Filipino culture, who makes up the guest list?
I believe both parties. It's the groom and the bride.
But it's the actual groom and bride, not the parents. That
Well, of course, the parents.
this is where it gets
would-
complicated, folks.
Well, he said intimate. He said that he wants the wedding to be intimate but refined. So it means intimate, just a few.
Yeah,
guests.
okay, you got that going for you.
Just a few guests. But of course, if the either parents would say we need to invite XYZ, then I guess that's the time that they can say that, wait a minute, that's not what our budget says.
Yeah,
So I guess that's the way that you can ask them. If you want us to have all these guests that you want, then you can help us pay for the seats of these people.
yeah.
I think, Joel, you have to sit down with your fiance and talk about your priorities.
Yeah,
I
because
think you need to.
did he say something about getting a house first?
He said that he has money to pay for their starter house.
Okay.
And I guess that's where he wants the money to go.
Yeah,
But he cannot finance both the wedding and have a house.
Okay,
And
so-
that's why they need to sit down. He needs to sit down with his fiance
Right.
and talk about what's our priority here.
Yeah.
Do you want a house? And this is in the Philippines. When somebody says that they're going to buy a house, it's cash
yeah,
that he's going to pay
Right.
for the property, for the
Yeah.
house in cash. Or if it's going to be mortgage, the mortgage in the Philippines is very, very short. We don't have 15 to 30 years mortgage there. We only have 5 years. The longest would be 7 years.
Oh wow, so your payments are astronomical.
So your payments are astronomical, but why would you pay for interest rates for that short amount of period of time? It doesn't make any sense. You have to pay it in cash.
Yeah, so he's been saving that for a
Yeah,
while,
I
and
bet.
at least you have something to show for what you've saved and were thrifty or whatever for. You've got a house. A wedding is a one-day weekend
It's a
event.
one day, yes.
So
It's a one day weekend event, and you wanted to share this special moment.
Yeah.
And in the Philippines, we don't have a divorce. So when you get married to someone,
yeah,
this is definitely lifetime
right.
marriage. So even if it's just a one day event, it is something special.
Plan with your fiance a way to make that one day on a budget, something that's very memorable. Maybe a location that you haven't been to.
Somewhere in the mountains, somewhere where it's like really intimate. And when you say intimate, make it like really intimate where it's just you, the bride.
And it sounds like you're young, so you could live stream it.
And lights.
So then you have, just tell everybody they're invited to stay at their own home and watch
Yes. Oh, you know what? That is a great idea. That is actually a great idea. Just, go to like the best place in the Philippines. And there are so many places in the Philippines that you can go to. You can be on top of the mountain. You can be by the beach. You can be anywhere and invite everyone on Zoom.
you. Yeah.
You're invited. You're all invited to our very intimate.
Yeah, and that's something that's not the norm. So it's like, hey, that's pretty neat idea.
And you can be as refined as you want. You can, wear a Versace suit if you want to, and that's where you splurge. Just splurge on your. This is just an idea, Joel, that we're discussing. But
Yeah.
going back to what you are asking me to give you an advice on, you have to set your priorities with your fiance. Talk about your priorities, whether you want a intimate and refined wedding or if you wanted to have a house. Of course, I'm practical, so I would advise for you to get a house and then the wedding you can improvise. But I will be honest with you, I do not believe that you are in the position to ask your future in-laws to help with the wedding. If there's any person who can do that, it would be your fiance. But if at this point, just a few more months before your wedding, your in-laws have not made any commitment to help with the wedding, that means that they are not planning to.
Yeah.
That is just the most straightforward. I know it's like peeling off the Band-Aid, but that is really the truth of it. If they have not made any, when you told them that you are getting married and they gave you their blessings, but they did not say that they are going to help with the wedding, that means that they are not planning on it.
Yeah.
Although you may want to ask your wife or your future wife if that's what her feelings on it. Because maybe you're reading them wrong. I don't know. But this is really something you're going to have to coordinate with your fiance to, I'm getting you married off already. You're going to have to coordinate with your fiance what way to, accomplish this.
Be creative. You can be as creative as you want with your wedding. We've given you an idea. You can find a really nice spot. There's a lot of nice spots in the Philippines that you can get married in. And that's where your wedding refinement comes in. Your clothing and the venue.
Yeah.
And have just you, the bride, and the pastor or the priest
And a
who's going to
photographer
marry.
of some sort.
And a photographer. So only 4 people. There's nothing more intimate than that. Find an intimate wedding come true.
Yeah.
That's just an idea, Joel. But yeah. Well, congratulations
Yeah,
again.
congratulations to
on
both of you.
your congratulations on your engagement. And I hope that I can see. Please send me pictures. Send me pictures of your wedding. I'd like to see.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's it today.
Okay.
That's it for today in our episode of Clear Echoes. I hope that you can join us again next time. And
if you'd like to be featured in any of our upcoming episodes, please feel free to message us through our social media links, which you can find below. We promise to keep your identity protected, and we hope to hear from you soon.
Until next time, keep shining, stay empowered, and stay awesome.
Stay awesome.
All right.
I think that one actually went pretty good.
On the next episode of Clear Echoes,
I can see if there's some sort of circumstances where it might be an emergency.
I know parents would say that I don't have any favorite baby.
At your point in life, you need to, look out for your own best interest.
But we have not taken into consideration what the mother-in-law is actually feeling.